Welcome to Farming Aid.
When most people think about beef cattle, the name Angus usually comes to mind. It's a breed deeply woven into our food system and markets. In this video, we're stepping beyond Angus to explore three breeds that stand out for how they fit into regenerative grazing systems. These breeds bring traits that support diverse forage use, encourage plant growth, improve soil structure, and help return nutrients back into the ground in ways that feed soil life and strengthen ecosystems. Whether you're a seasoned rancher, a pasture-based farmer, or simply curious about how livestock can help heal the land, this breakdown will open your eyes to options that align with soil health as much as animal performance. Let's dive into the three breeds that are making a real difference in regenerative agriculture and why they might be the right choice for your land, your animals, and your goals. Hereford cattle, known for their iconic red and white coloring, have a long history in beef production around the world. They were first developed in Herefordshire, England, centuries ago and have since been bred and adapted in multiple continents. In regenerative agriculture, Herefords are appreciated for their docile temperament and strong maternal traits, which make them easy to handle and integrate into diverse management systems. But their value goes deeper than temperament. Herefords are known to be resilient grazers, capable of utilizing a wide range of forage types from lush grasses to more fibrous, mature plants. In a regenerative grazing context, where the goal is to mimic natural herbivore pressure and encourage plant diversity, the ability to graze a broad spectrum of forage species helps prevent dominance of any single plant and supports a mosaic of vegetation that feeds soil microbes and stabilizes soil aggregates. Beyond their grazing versatility, Hereford cattle also tend to have sturdy feet and legs, which matter when animals are moved frequently in planned grazing rotations. Healthy hooves and strong physical structure reduce the risk of injury on uneven terrain and encourage more natural movement across pastures. That movement is essential because cattle hoof action lightly disturbs soil surfaces, breaking up litter layers and pressing seeds into contact with mineral soil where they can germinate. That gentle disturbance, combined with targeted grazing and rest periods, helps stimulate plant growth, increase ground cover, and reduce bare soil exposure. In turn, protected soil surfaces maintain greater moisture, support more organic matter retention, and build the foundation for rich soil life from earthworms to mycorrhizal fungi. Another breed that has earned attention from regenerative practitioners is Senepol. Senepol cattle originated on the Caribbean island of St. Croix, where they were developed for heat tolerance, parasite resistance, and adaptability to tropical conditions. These traits make them particularly interesting in the face of climate variability and increasing temperatures across grazing regions. Senepols are typically smooth-coated and heat-tolerant, which reduces stress in hot climates and allows them to continue grazing during periods when other breeds might seek shade and rest. In regenerative grazing systems, this means more consistent forage utilization, which helps maintain a rhythm of grazing and rest that plants need to thrive. When cattle graze evenly across a paddock rather than concentrating in shaded areas, manure and urine are also more evenly distributed. This pattern of nutrient return supports soil fertility in a more balanced way and reduces pressure on specific zones that might otherwise become compacted or nutrient overloaded. Senepol cattle also have good temperaments, which again supports management goals in regenerative systems. Easy to work with animals reduce stress for both stock and caretakers, making frequent movements and close observation more practical. But temperament aside, their adaptability to various forage conditions allows regenerative managers to plant diverse mixes, including warm season grasses and broadleaf plants, knowing the animals will take advantage of a wide array of species. That selective grazing can stimulate plant growth by trimming dominant plants and giving less competitive species a chance to flourish. When plant diversity increases, so does the diversity of root structures below ground. Longer, deeper roots pump carbon into deeper soil layers, feed different microbial communities, and help improve soil structure and water infiltration. Senepol cattle can be part of that story because they help reinforce the feedback loops that connect above-ground plant communities with below-ground soil life. The third breed that deserves attention in regenerative contexts might surprise some viewers because it is not as common in mainstream U.S. beef production. Akaushi cattle, sometimes called Japanese red Wagyu, bring a unique set of characteristics to regenerative grazing. Akaushi are one of 4 traditional Japanese breeds that make up Wagyu cattle, known globally for exceptional marbling and meat quality. But those same genetics that produce rich beef also include traits that inspire regenerative farmers. Akaushi are typically medium-framed and efficient converters of forage to body condition. Efficiency matters in regenerative systems because feed efficiency can reduce grazing pressure while still supporting growth. Efficient animals need fewer pounds of forage per pound of body weight gain, which provides flexibility in stocking rates and grazing plans that emphasize rest, recovery, and plant vigor. Akaushi cattle also tend to have gentle dispositions, which supports careful pasture management, and they have shown adaptability to rotational grazing schemes where managers move cattle frequently to mimic natural herd movements. With proper planning, Akaushi can graze mixed-species pastures without overfavoring certain plants. This balanced grazing helps prevent bare patches and supports a continuous living root in the soil. Living roots feed soil microbes year-round and help keep soil aggregates intact. That translates into better water infiltration, reduced erosion, and a soil environment that stores more carbon. For farmers looking to build soil health as a central goal, Akaushi provide a combination of efficient digestion, adaptability to diverse forages, and behavioral traits that align with regenerative strategies. Beyond breed traits themselves, it is useful to consider the holistic dynamics that make any cattle breed effective in regenerative agriculture. The essence of regenerative grazing is not just about the animal, but about how the animal interacts with the pasture. Cattle are moved through a series of paddocks with intentional rest periods for plants to recover and grow. During grazing, cattle remove plant material, trample some vegetation into the soil, and return nutrients through manure and urine. That cycle turns plants into fertility, fuels soil biology, and builds organic matter if done with attention to timing and stocking density. Breeds that can handle diverse plant communities, maintain condition on pasture alone, and express behavior that supports even grazing help make those cycles more effective. This is where Hereford, Senepol, and Akaushi cattle shine in regenerative systems. They each bring adaptability, temperament, and grazing behavior that support diverse forages and ecological processes rather than just feedlot performance. Rather than relying on supplemental feeds and confinement, regenerative agriculture seeks to keep cattle on pasture as much as possible, allowing them to be active participants in landscape processes. When cattle consistently graze a mix of grasses and forbs, they stimulate plant regrowth. Support herbaceous layers that protect soil, and help drive the feedback loops of carbon flow from air to plant to soil organic matter. Every time a plant shoots new leaves and roots thanks to timely grazing and rest, soil microbes get a fresh supply of carbon energy. Over time, this increases soil organic matter, which improves water holding capacity, nutrient cycling, and resilience to drought or heavy rains. Any time you introduce cattle onto a landscape, you are also introducing a new dynamic of disturbance and fertility return. The key for regenerative agriculture is to moderate that disturbance so it is beneficial and not disruptive. Frequent moves with appropriate rest periods mimic the natural patterns of wild herbivores that once roamed prairies in large herds. Rather than lingering in one spot and overgrazing, cattle are shifted in a rhythm that gives plants time to recover and build roots. Breeds that are calm, responsive to herding or low-stress stockmanship, and capable of grazing diverse vegetation help managers apply this rhythm effectively. Hereford cattle, with their broad forage adaptability and calm nature, fit well into these patterns. So do Senepol cattle, especially in warmer environments where heat tolerance keeps them grazing during heat of day rather than seeking shade. Akaushi bring their own strengths, converting forage efficiently and thriving in rotational systems that emphasize animal movement and plant recovery. There is also a practical side to breed choice in regenerative systems. Farms and ranches that are adopting these practices often look for animals that require less external input. That means animals that do not need heavy supplementation, that maintain body condition with pasture feeds, and that show resistance or tolerance to local parasites and weather extremes. Senepol, for example, bring genetic traits for heat and parasite tolerance that reduce the need for chemical interventions. Herefords, adapted over many climates, tend to be hardy in colder regions and have strong maternal instincts, which supports herd reproduction without constant veterinary input. Akaushi, with efficient forage conversion, may maintain condition without grain supplementation, which aligns with regenerative goals of keeping cattle on grass. As regenerative agriculture continues to gain traction around the world, we are also seeing more research and anecdotal evidence about how cattle breeds influence pasture outcomes. Some farmers note that certain breeds prefer young lush grasses while others take more mature plants, which changes how the plant community responds. In regenerative grazing, diversity is strength. A mix of plant species below ground and a variety of grazing behaviors above ground tend to create the richest soils. Some producers even blend breeds within a herd to take advantage of complementary grazing preferences, much like a natural herd might include different herbivores eating different plants. That approach can help ensure even utilization of pasture and reduce the chance that one species becomes dominant or neglected. Even though Angus cattle have their place in traditional beef markets, and they can certainly be part of regenerative operations, the breeds we are talking about here provide additional options for people prioritizing soil health. When a farmer chooses Hereford, they are choosing a breed with a legacy of adaptability and calm temperament that supports careful pasture management. When they choose Senepol, they are tapping into genetics that thrive under heat and forage diversity, encouraging even grazing and nutrient return. And when they work with Akaushi, they leverage efficient forage conversion and adaptability to planned grazing patterns that keep landscape processes humming. Choosing the right cattle breed goes far beyond just meat production. In regenerative agriculture, the focus shifts to how animals interact with the land, support plant diversity, and help build healthy, resilient soils. Breeds like Hereford, Senepol, and Akaushi offer traits that make them ideal partners in this system, whether it's grazing a variety of forages, distributing nutrients evenly, or thriving in diverse climates. By thinking beyond Angus and considering breeds that naturally align with regenerative principles, farmers and ranchers can create pastures that are more productive, ecosystems that are healthier, and soils that store more carbon and retain more water. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below telling us which cattle breed you're most excited to try on your farm. Your feedback helps us create more content to help you build healthier soils and stronger herds.